I'm heading out, man. You want to ride?
No, I got my car, but I actually really need to go to the bathroom.
Dude, are you okay?
I am definitely buzzed.
Yeah.
I think I will take this, and I will take that ride home.
Welcome to the 34 Motorsports Product Showcase. We're proud to offer the full line of Simpson Racing safety products. The Shark Speedway is a perfect brain bucket to keep your melon as safe as possible. We carry every model and size of Hans device, and these have saved countless lives. The Hybrid Pro Lite is an alternative to the Hans device and is just as effective. The DNA 3-layer suit offers maximum protection when things get hot. And hey, dude, those comfy shoes won't help one bit when things go south. Keep those hands ready to work with a pair of Vortex FIA gloves meeting every current standard. From 5 to 7 points, we carry every one of the Simpson harnesses, keeping your rear end right where it should be. Keep all your gear clean and together with the helmet and FHR bag, and always be ready to hop in a race car. Visit 34motorsports.com and order today.
I'm Ryan Newman, and since I started with Indiana Donor Network and Driven to Save Lives, I found out that some people think that they can't be an organ donor. The truth is, anyone can sign up to be an organ donor.
Anyone?
Anyone?
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. Anyone can sign up to be an organ donor. So don't count yourself out because somebody's counting on you. Go to driventosavelives.org and sign up today.
But my heart's going to you, Ryan.
Love that shirt.
If there's one thing every car guy hates, it's cleaning the garage. Do you want to take most of the time and hassle out of that job? Then call Zone Garage of Eastern Pennsylvania and New Jersey. Agnes and her crew will have your garage, shop, basement, or even your porch looking great all the time. With unique patterns and designs, plus the ability to incorporate your logo or any artwork, your space will never have looked better. Installation is done in 1 day, guaranteed, and Zone Garage offers a 20-year warranty on the top coat. Their coatings are durable, anti-slipped, and impact resistant. Give them a call at 570-856-6067. That's 570-856-6067 for Zone Garage of Eastern Pennsylvania and New Jersey. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Championship Night here for the Indy Pro 2000 Championship, exclusively here on the National Racing Network. My name is Chris Graham. It is a pleasure to have you joining us, and we've got the all-star crew in the booth tonight. As always, Mr. James Watson joining me, Kylo Ciacelli. You hear him on Tuesday nights on the TNT Shock Series, the PM18s as well. Welcome, gentlemen. I'll tell you what, James, ordinarily by this point in the season, drivers know what's what and who's where. We are entering tonight's championship round event with not only a Division II title up for grabs, but Division I and overall are still very, very much in play.
Yeah, it's incredible when you get that close of a championship battle in iRacing official series with all the drop weeks and everything. I mean, there's usually a lot of gap at this point of the season, like you said. So to have all these different guys still in play for the big crown, this is incredible. This is the stuff you live for.
And we're doing it at one of the coolest racetracks you'll ever go to here, Kylo. Road Atlanta is, I've heard it described as a street course without the concrete walls on top of you, but you sort of have to drive it that way, but it's sort of like a super speedway. This place is going to be insane in the PM18s.
Yes, it is, Chris. This Road Atlanta circuit is quite the distinct one. It's got very different sections from each other. The first section, a tight, twisty S section that is going over a blind crest and then under around another right blind crest. very tricky, and then 2 super long straightaways where drafting will be key and passing down into what is technically the turn 10A and B complex. Just call it turn 10 in my case. Goes down and will be probably the main passing zone of the night.
Yeah, James, we had a ton of fun calling this race here last year, and the drivers have responded. 44 cars on the entry list tonight, 22 in the top split. This field is an absolute monster. How about a 41.56 I rating on this show tonight?
Good God, that's a Silver Crown SOF. That is absolutely amazing. We have the top talent at one of the top tracks. I can't wait for this race to get started.
It is going to be fun, that is for sure. Let's bring up the qualifying info here so you can see where your favorites are running. We're following along with John Badifer, who is your overall points leader right now, sitting at 1571. How about, oh my goodness, it's closed up. I literally checked this 5 minutes ago. Entering tonight's race, John Badifer at 1571. Graham Sanders now sitting at 1570. 1 point separating John Badifer and Graham Sanders from an overall title. And oh, by the way, Ted Burns is only 30 points back. Any one of these guys could walk out of here with a championship tonight.
And we're looking here as the first laps are coming in. David Porcelli's going to be getting the first quick lap, 1:15.52. Graham Sanders and John Badifer, 2 title contenders in P2 and 3. 15:54 for Graham and a 15:55 for Badifer. Here comes lap 2, though. These should be much quicker compared to the first lap. Get everything warmed up and up to optimal temperatures.
Ooh, that may be a little bit of an off track there for Badifer. We'll see if the lap is going to count. Man, Graham Sanders is on a heater right now. Going purple middle 2 sectors. That means fastest overall. Loop it down the hill, snap through the short right-hander. Down over the line, new quick time, 1:15.279 seconds. See what David Porcelli's going to be able to do here on his second lap. We may already have one of the championship battles decided. Oh, no, we don't. I wasn't sure that Chris Preston made this top split session. Looking at the numbers here, Preston is at a 12:48, 12:39 for Nicholas Daly. They are going to start fairly close to each other on the grid as well. Preston with a great second lap to move himself up to 8th on the grid, 1:15.731. Nagisa Yoshikawa moving up to P9. We'll pick up Giancarlo Schooler as the final car that we will cover here in qualifications. As he finishes up his lap, he's going to go 15th, quick 1:16.192. Final driver to come across the line will be Michael Carpenter. And he gets in at a 1:17.177. And that will be it for qualifying. Morgan Burkhardt, the final car that could hypothetically get a lap in. However, Morgan having an off track right at the beginning of the second lap. See Rod Eskew, Mike Holler still out on the racetrack. No harm in getting a little extra practice here. I mean, listening to the pre-race chat here in the Discord, a lot of these drivers were talking about, and these are top-tier guys in this series, are talking about massaging where the braking and the corner entry points here, especially in that turn 2-3 complex.
Yeah, that complex has to be one of the hardest in all of the service. It's so hard. It's so blind that if you're just a little bit off, you're either taking too much of it and getting it off track, or you're not taking enough and you're going off into the grass, and likely it's spitting you back across the track into the wall.
That's one of the things, Kylo, that I think James is underselling this, quite frankly. Turns 2 and 3 are completely blind on entry. You have to just have faith that the car is going where it's supposed to be.
It's awful. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't have a good time on this track this week. It wasn't going too well. But that 2-3 complex, blind as it can be, and then you think you get it clear when you're through that one, and then you're going around what is turn 4 and 5. That section is also quite difficult, and you have to be pretty confident to just turn it in and hope that you hit the apex of that super fast right-hander.
We had one additional car that had a lap to get in here, and it's Everett Paddock. Everett currently sitting 18th on the speed charts. Very uncharacteristic for Everett Paddock at a 1 minute 16.344, a full second off the pace here at Road Atlanta. Everett currently sitting 5th in points. Everybody outside the top 3 is pretty well locked in. David Porcelli sitting at 1449. He's not going to make up 100 points on the top 3 tonight, but he's also not going to lose the 75 points to Everett Paddock, who's sitting at 1376. Chris Preston is 6th overall at 1248. He and Nicholas Daly is really the only other battle inside the top 10. Nagisa Yoshikawa and Andrew Berry also actually pretty close, 1156 to 1152. So still some good battles here. Kylo, looks like you will finish 11th in points, by the way. 1,040. You were only 10 back of Frank Wynn entering tonight.
Yeah, 1,000 points was really the goal. Chris won Division 2 last season at the end of 21 there, so figured I'd jump in this year, see what I could do, and getting 1,000 points in my first full season I think is okay. Next year we'll try and go get that championship for the Limo Boys Racing and Premier Race Setups to Chaco Farms BM18.
Man, look at that. Getting the sponsor plugs in here, too. All right, everybody, let's give you the starting lineup for tonight's race. It will be Graham Sanders and Ed Samborski on row number 1, John Bedifer and David Porcelli on row number 2, Rob Crouch and Jay Vigo on row 3, Jay, not a stranger, but newer name to the NRN airwaves here, one of the geodesic cars. I have no idea who Rob Crouch is, though. New name, he's going to be an interesting one to follow this evening. Ted Burns and Jason Sieg on row number 4. Couple of Australia-New Zealand club members there starting 5th and 8th. Chris Preston out of Canada, Nagisa Yoshikawa from Illinois on row number 5. Row 6 will have Mike Kahalich and Frank Wynn. Row 7, Nicholas Daly and Jay Dixon. Giancarlo Schooler and Andrew Berry on row number 8. Row 9 will see Rod Eskew and Everett Paddock. Russ Addy, Mike Holler on row number 10. And the final row for tonight's race, Michael Carpenter and Morgan Burkhardt. One of the things as we get ready to start here, let's take a look. Actually, we're going to go on board with your pole sitter, Graham Sanders, here tonight. Turn 1 is mostly blind. You can see the corner for the most part. Now you're going to turn up the hill, and the racetrack just dies. At some point here, it turns, and you still have no idea where you're going in front of yourself here. This place is incredibly tricky, and we're still going to have a lot of draft lock that's going to come into play here.
Yeah, getting through lap 1, sorry, I'm stepping on you there. Getting through lap 1 is going to be super difficult for sure. Turn 1, you can understeer wide surprisingly easily off to the left side there. The camber kind of falls away from the track, so easy to push yourself out wide there and have an instant on the grass. And as well on the cold tires going through there, it would be a miracle, I think, if we get through here with a clean first lap.
James, one of the interesting things that we heard the drivers discussing in the pre-race was practicing the escape route at turn 3. That's sort of next level, fourth dimension type thinking, but ultimately that can be the difference in winning or losing a race, getting knocked out, and even winning a championship at this point.
Yeah, like that doesn't seem like much, but that's huge. You have to be able to have some sort of backup plan. You don't know what's going to go down, and you don't know if you're going to be able to see what goes down. So you have to have some sort of escape route planned out, a fire escape, just so you know where to go and you're prepared when the inevitable happens and someone dies in that very, very not nice corner.
I cannot wait. This racetrack put on an absolutely incredible show. We saw the comment from Mike McCullen saying, Road Atlanta is amazing. Pull a couple of more up here real quick. East Raider saying, Turn 3 is the best turn in iRacing. I will vociferously disagree with you. I absolutely despise that corner. Mike saying, hitting the apex and getting a great run down the hill is satisfying. As green flag goes in the air, we are underway in the season finale for the Indy Pro 2000 Championship. Looks like we're going to get everybody cleanly through the first couple of corners. One of the things I'm noticing here, gentlemen, and maybe James will come to you with this, we're used to seeing 2 or 3 geodesic cars in this field. I think most of the front of the field is Team Geodesic at this point.
Team Geodesic and Downforce Racing, Ted's team. You got Edward, Rob Crouch, he's a Downforce guy, Jay Dixon, and I believe there's one more in the field as well. That's a Downforce car. So you have John and Graham and Ted rallying all their forces together to make this as big of a split as they can. This is going to decide the championship. This might be the biggest field we have all season, now that I think about it.
And easily the biggest field in terms of I-rating. Oh, one car going around. That's going to be David Porcelli. He's off into the gravel. Now he's got to sit and wait for the entire field to come past before he goes back to racing. Looking back to the head of the field, Graham Sanders getting the job done. Ed Samborski, John Bedifer following right in tow.
Yeah, super unfortunate for Porcelli there. Don't know if it was Ted or if it was John up there. One of those two definitely made contact side by side into the 10AB chicane. Going over the hill into 11, nothing he could do except wait on the outside for everybody to get by.
Take a look here and see it on the NRN instant replay. Oh, yeah, that was a big old shot from the 3 of Jay Vigo. Whole lot of left side love in there from the 3.
Looking back further in the pack, Chris Preston and Rob Crouch going to be going side by side down into turn 10AB. Preston going for that Division 2 title with Nick Daly, looks like 3 cars behind him now on track. That would be good enough for Preston. He would be champion at this point.
That's the interesting thing about the way iRacing does the scoring here, James. Not only do you have 4 drop weeks, but the number of points awarded is based on the strength of field. The fact that this is an absolute monster of a field with a Division 1 title on the line really is going to swing things in Division 2 as well.
Yeah, that's the thing about being a lower division driver is if you get into a big field and you get a good finish, you kind of get some luck on your side. That's a huge help, and sometimes your rivals can't really compete with that. It's not that big of a thing for one, because Division 2 is almost like a division. It's basically Division 1B. There's a lot of top guys still in Division 2 that are really quick. You see the effects more on some of the even lower divisions like Division 4, Division 5, and so on. Oh boy, this.
Yeah, Jay Vigo looking to the inside of John Bedifer there. He's going to get the move done. Looking to get around Ed Samborski here. Now Ted Burns is going to go up the inside of Sanders as well. He's going to lose 2 spots there. Or sorry, Bedifer. Bedifer is going to drop down to 5th place. Meanwhile, Vigo's going for Samborski into turn 1, and Ted Burns is going to follow through.
I don't know what car is what, man. The downforce and the geodesic paint schemes just look too similar. It's impossible.
I was doing my best there. I got through most of it.
I think you were right. That's the amazing thing.
This is not a race to have a six-pack of pints before you get into the broadcast booth.
We thought Iowa was bad last week with the Ukrainian flags.
Yeah, these are all. I mean, the cars they don't look anything similar to each other. I mean, let's say that what it is, but they're close enough. And then especially all the team cars, without being able to see the numbers, we really have no idea without the help of timing and scoring.
Yeah, you're just thinking who you think it is and hope for the best. Hope you're right.
Vigo and Teddy B going to make the run down into 10. Burns back down to the inside. He'll get the pass completed. Vigo, no chance to try the cross under. Thought about trying it under the bridge down to turn 11. That corner is so darn quick. You can actually see a little bit of a slingshot pass there, and if it doesn't happen there, it can happen into 1. This is going to set up big time for Jay Vigo to have the prime line into 2, and he will get past Ted Burns. And the guy who's all smiles right now is Graham Sanders. He's checked out, now almost 3 seconds ahead of this battle.
Oh, there's contact in the back of the field. Chris Preston's off on the grass. Chris Preston is off on the grass. He was touched by a car going through the 4-5 complex. I think it was Michael Kollick.
Get you a look here at the instant replay. Oh, yeah, he got a shove, and that was another of the geodesic cars.
Yeah, going side by side through there, that's an optimistic to say the least.
Ted Burns back in front of Jay Vigo, Ed Samborski, John Bedifer. It's, we'll say from Teddy B, call it 4 seconds, back to Rob Crouch in the 6th position. Kahalik and Daly going to battle side by side off of turn number 11. Boy. That's Daly in the white and green down to the inside into 1.
Now Kollick's getting left on the outside. Nagisi Yoshikawa, or sorry, Frank Gwynn on the inside of him there looking. John Collar Schooler got through as well, so Kollick dropping a couple more positions there.
And James, this is really the big thing that we're going to see here. You're not getting passed by one car, you're getting passed by 2 or 3 with just the slightest deviation offline and not hitting your marks. Between the draft and the loss of momentum, it really is a killer.
Yeah, we got freight trains going on. It's almost like we're back at an oval. Once you get in the wrong line, you're whoa,
big
that was
twitch.
A big save.
Big moment there for Giancarlo Schooler. But here you go. You're talking about the freight train. All he did was twitch. And he's going to lose 3 or 4 spots.
That's the worst place to have an issue, though. Long, straight, all that momentum lost. Look at that. That's like, what, 5 positions? Yeah, you can't pick a worse corner to have a mistake like that.
Oh, and there's a little touch behind. There was some contact there. Looks like Jason Sieg was having an issue there in 10AB, so he dropped back a couple of positions as well.
Graham Sanders just setting a new fastest lap of the race at 1 minute 15.642. Getting a couple of the comments up here. Bree Toronto checking in saying that was pretty gnarly. Nee Camargo, one of our Brazilian buddies running with us now on the TNT series, checking in saying go Ted. Sean Malloy, if they don't work together, Graham is gone. That's actually true twice here tonight. Not only is Graham Sanders long gone at the front of the field, but if my 2 color guys take over here, I may just disappear for the rest of the evening.
Yeah, not too much going on now on track. Everybody's trying to get back in line here. Looks like Everett Paddock's trying to make some moves up into the field now. He's into the top 10 now, up into 8th place now, as he makes the move around Michael Kollick as well. So Kollick's dropping back here, lost 2 or 3 positions there.
Paddock is the hard charger of the race at this point, up 10 after starting in the 18th position. Nick Daly up 6. But how about it? Teddy Burns, he's up 5. And at this point, like we said, Graham Sanders is getting exactly what he needs out of the team cars. The geodesic guys are making life a living hell on Ted Burns right now. It's almost like he needs Ed Samborski to get around Jay Vigo and give him that little bit of breathing space to try to set some hot laps.
Yeah, if he can get by Jay and they can get together and work together, they might be able to catch Graham, but that's going to happen soon. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's right.
Yeah, Graham's been super quick all week. I believe it was the 9:15 race yesterday. He just checked out on everybody else in the field as well. And that's what he needs to do to win championships. He's checking out on the rest of the field. Because these guys have sorted themselves out here a little bit. Burns has a little bit of room now that Samborski is behind him, so he has a downforce car with him there to work.
90210 checking in on Twitch saying punt, punt, punt. Punterino may be coming a little bit later in the race here, I think. Jay Vigo, by the way, now owns the fastest lap of the race at a 1 minute 15.429. Graham Sanders is not far off that pace. However, Vigo was about a half second slower that time. This is something else that the geodesic cars are really going to be able to do. You can back the pace down just a little bit without it being totally obvious that you're backing the pace down to let the teammate get away.
Yeah, it's definitely a possibility. Can't really say that. I can't imagine because I'm sure Jay wants to win this race too. But yeah, with Graham having all that clean air and space to just stretch his legs.
Ted Burns has had enough of whatever that was. Oh, what a save by Vigo!
And he keeps it together going through there. That was super sketchy, I'm sure, with those heated up tires. They keep it through the 4-5 complex. Now heading into the first of the two back straightaways. You can make a move onto the inside of this corner here. We'll see if Ted does it or he pulls back in the line, and he does pull back in.
Jason Sieg and Morgan Burkhardt having an issue on the racetrack. Sieg looks like he will be on pit lane. Burkhardt able to hold on in the 17th position. Check in with, actually, no, hold on. They're side by side for P2. Sorry about that.
Ted Burns around the outside. Jay Vigo on the inside. Burns has the advantage into the braking zone. Now Ed Samborski looking in. Jay closes the door, though. Teddy B up to second place now. He's got to go get Graham if he's got any chance of winning this championship.
That was not a door closing, by the way. That was a slamming, as much as you're going to see a door slam in an open wheel car. Jay Vigo ensuring that Ed Samborski is able to stay behind him. This is the team games that I'm okay with. They're not being completely kind of knucklehead about things, but there definitely is some semblance of, I don't want to say team orders, but there is definitely teamwork going on out here on the racetrack right now.
Yeah, they're definitely trying to help their own. Nothing too egregious, nothing too bad. Just regular racing deals.
Quite frankly, good hard racing. Betafer having a look on Samborski. He's not close enough to get the pass complete. Jason Sieg back out on the racetrack. Morgan Burkhardt now on pit lane. Man, this racing is intense. Burns and Vigo putting on a show here in the battle for second and third.
Just taking a look back in the pack, Everett Paddock has now passed Rob Crouch for P7. He's got Nick Daly ahead of him next. Everett's been steadily making his way up. Unusual to see him qualify so low down in these races. He's normally up in the top 5 there fighting for the wins, so he's charging through, and yeah, he's passed up into P7 now, so he's making moves.
Vigo having to look to the inside of Burns. Into 10. Samborski may get a pretty good run here as they head under the bridge. I don't think he's going to be close enough, and I'll tell you what, we're past halfway. Let's get the commentators to shut up here for a lap. Y'all go ahead and crank it up. John Badifer able to get around Ed Samborski. That's going to put the 2 geodesic cars now right behind Ted Burns, who runs in the second position. Vigo still owning the fastest lap of the race. Teddy B a little bit quicker that time by, though. Going to be 10 laps to go next time by. We haven't shown the guy all night. Take a look here. This is your race leader, Graham Sanders. Got out to a great start right at the very beginning of the race. Ooh, a little bit of an off track there, but Sanders has absolutely been in control of this thing from the drop of the green flag. Then we've had this battle, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Ted Burns, Jay Vigo, John Badifer, Ed Samborski. That run has, well, we've been on it all night. You've seen how fantastic this racing has been. Nicholas Daly currently leading the battle for the Division II championship. 4.5 seconds back of Ed Samborski, but only about a half second ahead of Everett Paddock. Just back behind them, Rob Crouch and Mike Kahalik. 10th place, Chris Preston, another 2 seconds or so back. James, I wonder here, is this starting to develop that feel of something is coming? We're just not quite sure what it is yet.
Yeah, I've had this ominous foreboding feeling since this race started. I don't know why. I can't imagine what it would be, but like I can't help but feel we haven't seen the whole story this race has to tell.
Yeah, I mean, look at, what was it, Summit Point? That race was kind of a mess very early on. We've seen a lot of shenanigans, argy-bargy, grab-ass, whatever you want to call it. There's been a lot of it this season in the PM18s. It would be, to me, more surprising to not see a big name have an issue here than to see this race go clean through the top 10.
Yeah, and everyone is having to drive on the absolute limit because there's championships on the line.
Everett Paddock just getting by Nick Daly into 10AB. That'll be for P6. Everett up 12 positions. And now he's looking to catch Ed Samborski in front of him now.
Yeah, he's got to catch up to Ed Samborski, and he's got to make up about 6 seconds to do it. However, the gap was starting to close down even there, so Everett Paddock's got some horsepower under that car. May have just taken him a little bit too long to get back up towards the front of the field after I think the word you might have used, Kylo, was lackluster. That was just, quite frankly, poor from Everett Paddock tonight, and very, very uncharacteristic of Everett.
Yeah, he's made up for it, though, back up into what would probably be considered a normal P6 for him. Back up into this battle for second and third place now. Betafer and Vigo look like they're swapping positions there, going down into 10AB, so it looks like John's going to get his shot to go at 10B now. And
Big contact! Teddy Burns into the outside retaining wall under the Fox Factory Bridge. Big hit for Ted Burns. We'll see if the car will be able to continue. It looks like it will. He stays out on the racetrack. Show you what happened here to Ted Burns. Coming through that turn 10 complex.
I think he just looped it. Yeah. He hit the dirt off the exit at 10B.
Oh, actually, yeah, a lot.
His front wing is damaged. The left element on that front wing is damaged, so he's going to be slow for the rest of the race here. And it looks like he's just in front of Chris Preston on the road. Preston will desperately be looking for that position. He needs all the points he can get now to make sure he can get that Division II title.
Well, what were we saying? We had that feeling that something was going to happen to one of the big names. Well, it did.
Yeah, it did. And quite frankly, I don't know that the championship was... these guys were going to race it hard. Oh, and there's contact!
There's
Contact! Jay Vigo goes around. He's off in the kitty litter. Oh, you wonder if that might not be a little bit of payback. We like retaliation. Jay Vigo falling back to the 7th position. Ed Samborski now going to be all alone battling with John Betafer. 7 laps to go here at Road Atlanta. I can't believe we're already 18 of 24 laps into this race.
Just like that, Everett finds himself in 4th place.
Yeah, the big drive for Everett Paddock has him up to 4th, and we've got another good battle back here as well. Chris Preston, Giancarlo Schooler, Frank Wynn, Jay Dixon. And just ahead of them is Ted Burns. Ted does have the damage on the front wing of that car. This really could be a 5 or 6 car battle here before too long.
And Nick Daly up into P5 now, up 8 positions from qualifying. Really strong showing from Nick Daly here. Rob Crouch in 6th place, Michael Collett still in 7th. Jay Vigo is ahead of Ted Burns on track. And he's right on the back of Michael Collett right now, actually. So it looks like Jay Vigo escaped without any damage because he seems to still be on the pace. Ted is dropping back, though, closer and closer to these guys behind him.
A little bit of a connection issue there for Nicholas Daly. Everett Paddock still running just ahead of him in that battle for the championship in Division II. As we mentioned, it was a 9-point gap for Chris Preston versus Nicholas Daly. Daly, I think, may be able to make that up. The difference is we don't know what the drop weeks are going to be.
Yeah, it's a lot of math, which we can do, but being able to do it within the next few laps is not very likely.
I don't even know that we have the data available to do it in real time.
Sorry, gentlemen, I just mean to interrupt with the perfect Excel spreadsheet that I've been making all year long trying to track my championship battle that failed. Chris Preston needs 22 points. 22 points is the gap that he needs to keep with Nick Daly. If he can stay at 22 points from tonight's race, including drop weeks, he will be champion. And I don't think that's going to happen right now. He does get around Ted Burns, though, going into 10AB. Preston has passed Ted Burns. So he's going to be looking to chase down... Oh, sorry, that's Jason Siegs now in front of him, the lap car.
Yeah, Siegs just getting back out onto the racetrack, having another off-track issue. pick up this battle once again here for second. John Bedifer holding on over Ed Samborski, but they are 7 seconds behind race leader Graham Sanders. We'll get you the gaps to your race leader up on the screen here. Samborski's close, and he's going to pull out, try to have the dive bomb. Oh, man, that is such a gutsy place to attempt the pass.
Great move. Absolutely great. Oh, boy.
And here comes John back on the inside. Into the final turn 12.
Better crossover. Great pass, better crossover. And James, correct me if I'm wrong, isn't that how we saw the pass for the win happen here last season?
For once, I actually can't remember. A lot has happened since that last race.
James can remember somebody that wrecked him out of a race in 1997. But that's all right.
And it's impressive because that was the year I was born.
He will always and forever be pissed at his older twin brother. Looking back now a little bit deeper in the field, Rob Crouch, Jay Vigo going to battle. This is the fight for the 6th position. Let's take a look here at the check in the comments here. Yeah, Sean Malloy checking in saying, this is great racing between Ted, Jay, and Ed a few minutes ago here. Yes, Nee Camargo calling me out for the commentator's curse. Oh, man, they're almost making contact there.
Yeah. Jay Vigo around the outside of Rob Crouch going into turn number 2 there. He's going to get that move done. Crouch going to drop another position here. He's down 2 from where he started this race. He's going to have Michael Kollick behind him now.
Have to give a big shout out to everybody that's watching on YouTube and on Twitch. Thank you all very much for hanging out with us tonight. Give it a like and a share if you are enjoying the race. Let's go back to this battle for second, at least show you where it is relatively on the racetrack. Call it 0.3 of a second, separating John Bedifer from Ed Samborski. Andrew Berry coming around, Frank Wynn getting around Andrew Berry. Trouble for Frank Wynn. He's off the racetrack, has to take the tow into the pit area. Tough break there. Ted Burns now trying to hold on against Giancarlo Schooler. This is looking more and more like it's going to be one of the drop weeks here for Teddy B.
Yeah, this week did not go to plan for Ted for sure.
Way back in the field, Rod Eskew and Mike Carpenter fighting for 17th and 18th. I can't believe it. We are down to 2 laps to go. In fact, call it a lap and a half to go for race leader Graham Sanders. 7.5 seconds back, John Bedifer and Ed Samborski continue to battle for the 2nd position. Pick up Chris Preston and David Porcelli. This is another good fight. Oh, man, things really getting tight now for second. White flag is out. 1 lap to go for Graham Sanders. We will pick him up later in the lap. Samborski thinking about having the dive to the inside of Bedifer. Just inside a half a lap to go for Graham Sanders. This is going to be very, very tight for the championship. Betafer entering the night with the 1-point lead. The difference is we don't know where the drop weeks are coming, though. Samborski having the look. Off the final corner. Checkered flag will be in the air. Graham Sanders will get the win at Road Atlanta. Samborski able to get by Betafer. We'll show you the replay of that pass in just a moment. Samborski and Betafer round out your podium. How about the drive here for Everett Paddock? Up 14 positions to finish in fourth tonight. Jay Vigo's going to round out your top 5. Show you the replay here of the pass. Just a gutsy dive outside into turn 10. Samborski able to use the preferred line track position to his advantage, forces Betafer to swing a little wide. Oh, man. Could you imagine if it comes down to that pass?
Man. Yeah, John looked like he could have gotten the crossover again, but he just got on it a little too hard, and you saw the rear kick out, and that's all she wrote.
Oh, man. What a race. That was absolutely incredible. We're going to get the victory lane interviews keyed up here as soon as we have our drivers pop in tonight, and quite frankly, we're already hitting refresh on the championship point standings to see where these numbers are going to shake out. I'll tell you what here, Kylo. Everything we wanted and more out of this race tonight. Great battle all over the place. This was a ton of fun to watch.
Yeah, definitely a great way to end out what has been a really good 2022 Season 1 for the PM18s. This has been an insanely competitive field all year long. Lots of drama, lots of great racing. Just really good stuff overall.
Run you back through your finishing order here. Graham Sanders getting the win by 8 1/4 seconds over Ed Samborski. John Betafer, Everett Paddock, and Jay Vigo, your top 5. 6 through 10, Nicholas Daly, Rob Crouch, Mike Kahalich, David Porcelli, and Chris Preston. 11 to 15, Giancarlo Schooler, Ted Burns, Andrew Berry, Nagisa Yoshikawa, and Russ Addy. 16 through 20, Mike Holler, Rod Eskew, Mike Carpenter, Jay Dixon, and Morgan Burkhardt. Frank Wynn going to finish tonight in 21st. Jason Sieg will round out the field in the 22nd position. Let's kick things off here. We're actually going to do these a little bit out of order because I am going to do my best to get updated point numbers before we talk to Graham Sanders and John Betafer here. So we'll start the victory lane interviews off with our runner-up finisher tonight here, Mr. Ed Samborski. And, man, I'll tell you what, Ed, that was a hell of a run tonight. It was exciting to watch this race all the way through, and an absolutely phenomenal pass there into turn 10. Tell us about the night from what you saw in the driver's seat.
I was absolutely furious with myself for my abysmal first 2 laps. And I'm kind of mad at myself for having a little bit of contact with a couple of drivers. When you guys pulled me in, sorry about that, I was looking at the replay. And, unfortunately, some things that I don't like to have in my driving happened. But, Graham's good. I mean, it was a good, fun race and hard-fought battles. I guess you can't complain. It was absolutely entertaining.
Seemed like there was a good bit of teamwork that was going on. I'm not going to say team orders specifically, but between the Downforce Racing guys, the Geodesic guys, y'all were kind of doing what you think you needed to do to give your highest placed teammates a shot at the championship.
To be honest with you, once Ted started in sixth, it was basically just try to go forward and win the race. And I was way too aggressive on the first 2 laps. So, and I found myself in a couple compromised positions. So I just realized to attack another day. I'm not sure what Geodesic was doing. It just seemed like they were racing tough. If someone had a mistake and had a run, they would just let the other guy go by, which is what you like to see. You don't like to see people wrecking each other on the straightaways or anything like that. The first 2 laps, it probably looked like I was trying to back everyone up, but I can promise you I was just trying to catch back up to Graham, and that was my undoing. I got the tires hot through 3, and that was it. I mean, you saw me just sliding around for a lap and a half, and I got to give credit to them guys behind me because nobody hit me. And they probably expected more. I did actually practice a lot this week, so I mean, it was great driving all around.
Yeah, this one was a lot of fun to watch, and you guys put on one hell of a show to close out 2022 Season 1. We'll ask this question of you now. Are we going to see you back in the PM18s for next season? Because you were kind of a late season addition here. I would imagine probably thinking a championship if you do try to come back and run the whole season.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest with you, I was talking with Ted one day about driving another car that I owned that was completely different from the 3.5 because not that I'm bored with the 3.5, but it's all I drive. So you have this entire service of content, and I'm driving one piece. So, I mean, yeah, you go to different tracks, but you understand what I'm getting at. So I just wanted something else to drive that was during the weeknights, and Ted was like, hey, man, this is perfect for you. So I was like, yes, it is. All right, here we go. It was literally that simple. I mean, that was the thought process. It was a minute. It wasn't no R&D, no research. It was just you own the car, they run Thursday. Yeah, okay, here we go.
That's fantastic. Entering the night, you only had 6 weeks that had counted, and you still found yourself 12th in points. I would imagine a top 10 is, probably a little bit out of the question. But, man, I'll tell you what, a lot of fun watching you come on board here the second half of the season. We're really looking forward to seeing you come back for next season. So congratulations on the podium. Let's make sure you get all those sponsor plugs and thank yous in before we let you out of here.
I got to thank, I believe, Everett, because he's the community manager, I believe. I can't think of the name, but someone I think else handles the fundraising. So thank you to that gentleman or lady.
Jason Owens handles that one. Check the
Jason
forum
Owens
post, by the way.
Yeah.
not you, but, the community.
Everyone, yeah, everyone check the forum post. Thank you guys for broadcasting. It's good fun. Thank the community for having me. No one's had a bad word today. I got to apologize to Jay. The incident, I'm not saying either guy's at fault. It's just an unfortunate thing. I don't like to do that sort of thing. It was purely accidental, so sorry. And I'd like to thank everyone for the good racing. It's been fun.
All right, bud. Well, thank you very much. We appreciate that. And we do have the update of the iRacing point standings. And let's bring in your race winner and series champion for the Indy Pro 2000 Championship for 2022 Season 1. Graham Sanders, the numbers as they sit right now, 1662 for you. John Bedifer in second at 1619. Congratulations on not only a dominating performance tonight, but a really, really stout championship run as well.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much, man. Yeah, that race was. I know I was up front by myself, but it was difficult. It was difficult. This track is there's nothing like it. These curbs are really, really rough on this car, and it was a nice 1-3 finish for us as well. So that was fun.
Would you rather have the race that you ran, where I would imagine at times it can be difficult keeping concentration when you're basically hot lapping for 24 laps? Or would you rather have been in the hornet's nest that was about 6 seconds behind you, where at least then you know that it's kind of that whole, carrot and stick or rabbit chasing a carrot, whatever, however you want to say it?
In this specific scenario, I would rather be in front because it got me the championship. But on any other night, I would much rather be battling wheel to wheel and just having fun. I mean, I would have a lot more fun getting second place with a really, really fun battle than a boring race up front. That's me personally, but for tonight, I can't say no to a win.
Yes, take the easy ones when you can get them, I guess is the correct way to say it. I tell you what, looking at the numbers from tonight's race, we had a strength of field of 41.56 for tonight. Everybody talks about the Indy Pro 2000 car is dead. Championship battles in Division 1 and Division 2 down to the last race of the year, monster strength of fields, multiple 20-plus car splits. Is everybody that's running F3 fixed missing the boat?
I say this all the time. I think this is the most slept-on car on the service by a landslide. I think this is in my top 3 favorite cars on the service, and I think those people running F3 are really missing out.
Well, I tell you what, bud, it was a ton of fun to watch you this season. The first couple of seasons we did this, Greg Seitz would do Greg Seitz things every week and just disappear. That's not the season we had here. The battle was really good. Talk to us about battling over the course of the season with John, Ted, Everett, David. I mean, with 4 or 5 races to go, we had 5 cars that could have won this championship.
Yeah, no, definitely. You really had no idea who was going to be up front after qualifying. I mean, it was so close. I mean, I think for this race, I think up until like 7th or 8th, it was maybe 2/10 or something like that. So, yeah, I have so much fun in this series. I have more fun in this series than I do in IMSA, and that's saying a lot because I do a lot of IMSA. But yeah, I will definitely be coming back next season for sure.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, congratulations once again on the win and the championship here. Let's make sure you get all those sponsor plugs and thank yous in before we let you out of the room.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I just want to thank all my teammates, all the sponsors, GoPro, Alpine Stars, Wave Italy, GSI, and, of course, all of you guys in the broadcast. You guys do a great job, and I'm looking forward to seeing you guys next season.
All right, bud. Thank you very much. It's now time for us to bring in our 3rd place finisher tonight, and guy who's going to come home with a 2nd place finish in the Indy Pro 2000 Championship for the officials. John Badifer, I tell you what, man, you put on a hell of a show tonight with Ed Samborski, and it was a hell of a show all season long, battling Graham, Ted, Everett. Congratulations. That was well earned, my brother.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. A lot of good battles throughout the season. A lot of wins for Gio. I think we won 8 of the last 9 broadcast races, so pretty happy with that. And then congrats to Graham on a great season.
One of the things we just asked Graham about was the strength of field for tonight's race was over 4,000. 44 cars on the total entry list tonight. Is everybody that runs F3 sleeping on this series?
Say so. This is my favorite open wheeler by far. I think the pace is right for the iRacing service. I think you can have some really good close battles, and netcode doesn't get in the way as often, so I think that's important. Yeah, I think the more people that give it a try, I think the more it'll pick up. I love driving the car, and it's a blast to race in. So.
Tell us about the season from a team perspective here. You geodesic guys are going to finish 1-2 in the driver's standings. Like you said, you won 8 of the last 9, whatever it was, broadcast races. This truly was a team effort that put you guys at the head of the pack.
It was. Graham did a great job showing up on race day with insane pace all the time, using my setups. So that's always fun, when you get beat by your own setup. But
kind of the knife in the gut there, huh?
It hurts a little, but it would have been nice to be able to battle him a little bit more tonight, but it just didn't work out. Just a little bit of a slip up on the first lap, and he was able to get out of draft. So But overall, yeah, the season was great. I think I ended up with the Oval Championship, so I'm happy to have that. I think that kind of shows my ability to do both oval and road racing in this car pretty well. So I'm pretty proud of that. And then we'll just go on to the next season and give it another go.
All right, bud. Well, congratulations once again on a third-place finish tonight, a runner-up finish in the championship standings. Hell of a season, man. Thank you very much for putting on the show week after week for us. And make sure you get all your sponsor plugs and thank yous in before we let you out of here.
Yeah, I'm sure Graham touched on the sponsors, but thanks to you guys again for putting on the broadcast. I love watching it back, and I love your commentary. It's really great, so I really appreciate it.
All right, bud. Well, thank you very much. We appreciate those kind words and the shout-out. And if you are in the community, the message from Jason Owen says check the forum post. Make sure that we are able to continue the broadcast mediocrity that comes out of the National Racing Network every week here. Before we sign off air here, though, we do need to go back and check the comments. The racing was outstanding here. Nee Camargo checking in, saying, too bad for Ted. Great race. Preston, of course he thanks his teammates. They take out the competition for him. Oh, we're not going there. And Ziggy checking in, saying netcode doesn't get in. Obviously wasn't in the Iowa TNT shock race. Not as much netcode there as other things, but yeah, I'll tell you what, guys, this was about as much fun as we're going to have here all season long. Kylo, let's get your thoughts on the race here tonight, and James, we'll talk to you about the whole season.
Yeah, well, tonight we got a little bit of everything, really. We got a leader just storming away at the front, a great battle for the rest of the podium. Some, we'll call them shifty incidents. I don't think anything too savage happened tonight, just some racing stuff, but got that bumping and running, and some guys charging through the field too. Everett Paddock is my driver of the day for sure. Up 12, maybe 13 spots in the end there. Great drive from him after what was a shocking qualifying effort.
Yeah, Everett actually picking up 14 spots to finish in the 4th position. A really incredible drive from him. Another shout out to Nicholas Daly as well. He gained 7 after starting in the 13th position tonight, coming home in 6th. I'll tell you what, James, this race tonight was sort of a microcosm of the whole season overall. We saw some contact that is going to be debated, and the comments are going to blow up when everybody does their individual watchbacks. We had a dominant performance up front. Everything we saw this season, we wrapped up into a nice, tidy little bow that lasted about 50 minutes or so.
Yeah, this had to be the best season we've covered. Like, it was last year's F1 season level of racing and battles and drama. Like, I had a lot of fun watching this. You had no idea what was going to happen. Even with Graham, not to throw any shade on him, but even with Graham leading tonight, you were like, is there any possible way he could spin? Because we saw that happen 2 weeks ago at Red Bull Ring. Like, we had no idea what was going to happen at any point in this race and any point in any of the races this season. And that's what you want to see from any type of racing. You don't want to know what's going to happen. You don't want to have the race start and already everything already wrapped up before the race even starts. Like, this was an absolute blast to cover week in and week out.
Yes, this was one of those seasons that, like you said, we got a little bit of everything. It was fun. Some of the first ones we had where, I mentioned that Greg Seitz would do his thing and he would run off and hide somewhere. They were okay to call those races. This season was by far the tightest that we've ever seen. And it's only going to get better because the more racing you get, the better broadcast shows that come out just because the racing is good. I'm not saying we're good. we're very much not. But it's the quality of the content on the racetrack. And people see, a 4,000 SOF race. That's telling me that you've got some really high-rated drivers running second and sometimes third splits. Everything we could want to see on the iRacing platform, we're now seeing in the Indy Pro 2000 Championship.
Yeah, it was. This was just absolutely fantastic. This season is what the series needed. It needed a season like this, and it delivered.
Seeing David Porcelli checking in here real quick. Dead last to P9 with hella damage. I'll take it. And Graham Sanders checking in. You're funny, man, talking to Preston. Yeah, this is, if you thought this season was good, just wait till next season because it is going to be insane. Kicking things off with a 5-lap run at the Nurburgring Nordschleife. That'll be coming up in 2 weeks. The season will be off next week for week 13. Road America, USA International, Long Beach, Zandvoort, back to the Nürburgring, but for the Grand Prix course. Lucas Oil Raceway on the oval, back to Summit Point, which I am thoroughly excited about. The Indianapolis Motor Speedway Oval, that could be...
We don't talk about that.
Yeah, we'll talk about that one later. Spa, the IndyCar Road Course, and then Watkins Glen running the boot. Yes, I am for 11 of 12 that we have on the schedule for next season. This one's going to be fun coming up here, guys.
Yeah, for sure. This season, like I said, it's been a lot of fun to drive in this series. These guys are incredible up front. They're super quick, and even the guys who are fighting in the back with me, it's a lot of fun. Super nice guys. The only series in iRacing I've only met nice people. This is a great community we got here for the PM18s, and looking forward to next season for sure. Except Indianapolis, of course.
Yeah, let's not and say we didn't.
Couple of shout-outs here, James, before we wrap up our coverage for the season. Some of our TNT Shock Series regulars, Nagisa Yoshikawa coming home 9th in points, Andrew Berry 10th in points. Mike Holler runs with us occasionally. He's finishing 13th. Simon Fell finishing 19th overall in points. Hell of a season there, Simon. Wes Shire up to 21st overall in points, and Jason Owens coming home 23rd. Point being, don't miss the TNT Shock Series on Tuesday nights.
Yeah, we're back next Tuesday night at Southern National.
That one has dumpster fire written all over it.
Oh, yes, it does.
All right, everybody, it's time for us to get the heck out of here. We are going to enjoy the long weekend and basically the week off we have here. Next week, it will be Pizza at the Pagoda. This week's episode is going to release tomorrow. Also, the High Side Hustle will release on the NRN podcast tomorrow as well. If you did not hear tonight's show, go back and watch it. Freddie Raymer was a great interview. And then Kevin Thomas Jr. came out and was throwing bombs. And it was incredible. Some of the best hour that we've done with Burt Wojcik and Adam Rubright. You don't want to miss that one. Either watch it back on YouTube, check it out tomorrow on the NRN podcast. And we've got nothing next week. The Sim Racers Club is off. Actually, we have TNT next week. They will be at Southern National, but that's it, other than the podcast. So we're going to enjoy a little bit of a respite here. With that, it is time for us to get the heck out of here. For Kylo Ciacelli and my season-long partner, Mr. James Watson, thank you, gentlemen, both very much. You make this a lot of fun and worth doing. We really appreciate you. Until Tuesday, for everybody here at the National Racing Network, my name is Chris Graham. It's been a pleasure having you hang out with us. We will talk to you all soon. Have a good night, everybody.